Hey YouTube, it's that dude named Dave and welcome to my channel. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Before we get started, my price for admission, like, subscribe, and the bell notification below. You guys are watching my videos, but you're all not sub yet. So let me help you by helping me out here and give you guys a few seconds here while we're close to 10,000 subs. All right, we got those few seconds out the way. No long intros like I always say here. Today's video, we're coming back to Kevin Samuels. He had a single mother call in, talk about all her options, and she wanted his input. So let's get to the video. We're gonna let Kevin cook in. We're gonna try to make this make sense.
I do.
How many kids?
I have one.
How old?
He's 5.
So if you were over 35 with a 5-year-old, now you'd be 10 years old, and you wouldn't want to share a man, why should a man have to share his money with your kid?
That's fair, to say why would he have to share it, but if he wants me, then he would have to.
No, he don't. See, what
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but see, I think it's funny, especially single mothers, y'all vastly overestimate. Your sexual marketplace value is lower than it was when you started. All single mothers. So let's take this out of personal. Let's say you went to a store and something cost $300. And you only got $200 in your pocket. Would you walk in the store and try to buy that?
No, that's
All right,
crazy,
but that's what y'all try to do in the marketplace. You're trying to get men who are like $500 and you got $250 worth of buying power.
That is a great analogy that Kevin breaks out here. See, this is one thing that single mothers do not understand in how men and how we view single women with kids and they're not married and things of that nature and they're trying to date. We look at that as a liability. So he gives a great analogy how you don't have the buying power once you become a single mother. It's one thing when you're single, it's another thing when you have a kid and then that other man is also in her life as well. We don't know what's going on. Great analogy. Let's continue the video.
The older you get, do you think your sexual marketplace buying power increases or decreases?
Good question.
Obviously, it decreases.
All right, so that means you're going to have to be able to get less, right?
For majority of women, yes.
No, for all women. What makes you special?
It's not me necessarily, but there are women that's 35 years old who
What does that do? What does it have to do with you, though? That's that wanting to be right.
Well, if I want to talk about me,
Before she continues here, that is trying to be right. You see a situation that it happened one or two people and women want to manifest saying that it can happen for me too as well. There's a difference between possibilities and probabilities. Remember that. Let's continue.
feel like if I was 35 years old with a 10-year-old and I carry the way that I carry myself now, I don't think I would depreciate at all.
What?
Oh, so you'd be the first female in history who wouldn't depreciate as she got older? How's that happen?
For me, it's because when you don't understand like having a kid young and doing all those things and you start learning that stuff, basically growing, it's possible for you to still obtain a 6-figure man that's making $75,000 a year and who can afford that lifestyle for you.
Okay, a 6-figure man is making 100 and some odd thousand, not 75.
100. I'm sorry.
But older, what product on the market gains value with age and use?
I love this question.
Wine?
Not with use.
Well, liquor.
Before we continue here, we had this question about 2 months ago for my day ones and my original tribe members here. We got to remember use. See, things can increase with time, the value in time, but what happens when you use it? In the comment section, let me know this question here. Can you really answer what increases with time and use? Not just time and over a period of time and it goes up. Some people, I look at some of my old comments saying Bitcoin. Hey guys, that did not age well when Bitcoin was at 62,000. We're looking at 29,000 right now. Some people say gold, but gold has fluctuated, in time. A matter of fact here, when you look at the comparison from gold and Bitcoin, look at those cost analysis here as far as that rise is concerned here. But just remember that though, with use. Comment section. Do you guys have the answer? Because most people don't, and we're really wrong on this one months ago here. So let's continue.
Anything that's how I feel. For me, like I said, for me personally.
Okay, hold on.
Mhm.
Black people used to think feelings and facts are different.
Exactly, Kev.
And I'm gonna just tell you, I get tired of hearing Black women in particular, because you're our women. I don't care about those other women as much as I care about Black women. I get tired of hearing Black women feel like because they don't feel like or they don't like something that they can dismiss the truth of it. If a non-Black woman were to say that, but you're mine, I gotta care that you don't understand that you can't just dismiss it because you don't like the way it sounds. Understand that? We got far too many women who think like you, move like you, because the way you feel, you can just dismiss it. Well then, what man who shares your reflection feels the same way, that your value goes up as you get older? What man on the planet think that way?
They probably don't think that way. I'm not a man, so I don't know how a man
Men
thinks.
don't think that way. How are you going to force a man to accept it?
I'm not going to force him to accept it.
Exactly, because it won't work. So, ma'am, your value goes down whether you like it or not. Whether you think that you'll be more valuable 5 years from now with a 10-year-old, you're still a single mother. And and what does that
So
mean?
hypothetically,
That means it's not his child. That's all that means. It's not his child. Your child is a liability to another man, not an asset.
Exactly, Kev. We've talked about this in previous videos here. If he is not the biological father, he does not have full 100% rights and autonomy to discipline his child and raise the way it's supposed to be here. When it comes to certain items, a woman's going to say, no, you can't do it because this is my child. That's not your child. Or his daddy can do what he want to do here. But if you, being a stepdaddy, you have all the responsibilities of day-to-day things that go on, but you don't have full rights to be the 100% daddy. So that's why it's a liability. And women can't understand that. Women want to say, hey, that my child can be good for this man here. He wants kids. We could have this blended family. But men do not think this way. And we need women to understand that. Let's continue.
okay, so going back to me, I'm okay with letting the dad have the child for me to start over. I am okay with that. He can live with his father and his father's wife, and they can be a happy family, and I'll get them on the weekends and holidays. That's fine with me.
Y'all hear this?
So that another man don't have to raise his child. I would never put my child off on another man.
Okay, but
he has an active father in his life.
Listen. While that is something that most women would not do, the fact that you still had a child means your womb has been used. You have risked your life to clone another person. That matters to us as men. So it still lowers your value. I'm still trying to understand why you think your value won't go down, and you haven't made a compelling case.
Before Kevin continues here, what he is breaking down here is the fact that when a man sees the fact that you are a single mother, you have a baby, you have given the highest honor that you can give to any man. You gave your womb to him, and now you have a seed here. So he knows that he's only secondary. So women do not understand that when you don't marry before you carry, and that you have this child now, we see that as a red flag. We know that you're not gonna be truly ours. And that is the main point. Men are territorial, and we want our women. We don't wanna have to share you with another man. Now, you can talk about the co-parent and things of that nature. That can be fine and dandy, but in actuality, and today in modern women and these modern relationships, how often are they always working? Men are getting the raw deal here. So let's continue.
again, I've always been fit, but I wasn't friendly. I wasn't cooperative. I wasn't all those things that you say a woman should be, what a man looks for. And
Mhm.
so for me, as I get older, I am becoming more fit, friendly, compromised, and understanding, and
Okay.
being that piece that a man is looking for. So
Right. But
that's where my
what you're doing though, ma'am, is you're evaluating the market by comparing yourself today to yourself yesterday. Okay. You're comparing yourself to, I'm better than I was, right?
right.
But the market is much bigger than you, man. The market is thousands and thousands of women who some were worse than you, some who are far better. A man gets to pick one. And if you had the choice to pick one, you're going to get the best you can, not the one that was better than she was. You're going to get the best.
Well, if you talking about this generation, shoot, I'm damn near with a kid.
No, you're not. I talk to women every day, ma'am. I mean, I think that's arrogant for you to say, because where do you live?
Well, right now I'm in Australia.
Okay. Due respect, ma'am, I talk to women worldwide for the last.
Australia.
Your attitude is not even right, man.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, this is the arrogance of the modern female. Y'all feel like y'all can just do whatever and say whatever, and it's always gonna be. But if it was all that, why did the man you made a baby with put a ring on your finger?
Good question.
That was his decision not to.
Or then why would you make a decision to have his baby? See, that's what men
Again,
do.
the things that I had to learn.
No, you didn't
Those
have
are
to learn.
things I wasn't
You
taught.
have to-
You know,
Ma'am, you live in the West. In the West, it is well known that you should get married before you have a baby. That's not new news. Y'all chose to have sex, but women pay a higher price in sex than men because you risk pregnancy, and you can't undo that. And you can't act like it didn't happen, and you can't act like that it doesn't matter. It matters to men. And if he chose not to.
Before Kevin continues here, are we witnessing what we always talk about in this channel here? Accountability. She keeps stating how she's better now than she was in the past. She doesn't want to accept the fact that her child is bringing her sexual marketplace down. She keeps talking about how she has moved herself up to be a better person. You can make yourself a better person, but the man who's trying to choose you still sees that child. He knows that there's another man in your life, that child's father. That is the issue. And that's what we're talking about. And we got to put this in here, because what we got to repeat here, ladies, and for guys here, if you get with a woman like this here, it becomes stepdaddy season, or I like to call stepdaddyism, which I don't agree with here in my tribe here. Let's continue. Let's let Kevin cook some more.
To marry you, what kind of signal does that send to the next man? Because you gave a man the highest gift you can give any man, and you didn't require marriage. So this is why I tell women you don't typically get higher than your baby daddy, because that's where you set your price. Your baby daddy is your price, and it only goes down.
It figures, and if we wanted to get married, we could, but we would have to take our time over again.
Your baby daddy making six figures, that's fine, ma'am, but it matters about character and all those other things too. He didn't marry you, right? You didn't want to marry you.
Again, I didn't understand that I should have prioritized marriage.
I get it.
I understand that now.
I get it. And what I'm saying is, to women, I'm talking to you, and I'm also talking through you. This is why it would be so much better for most of you ladies to just go finish the families you started. Because whatever you're saying, man, matters to you and that child's father. To the random man in the sexual marketplace, it doesn't mean a goddamn thing.
You hear what he said there? If you should work things out with the previous family that you already started. Because what do we show in our stats here? People don't want to believe the CDC. You know, as people, like I said, our black people want to believe feelings over facts. What about blackdemographics.com? You guys look that up here, where we show that 26% of all black women will ever be married. And that's also including the women who are married 2 and 3 times, the bad women, the one who can get their pick of the litter of men here. And so you have those women in statistics, which brings the other women down that they're taking the multiple men. So he is showcasing how you need to actually work out with the family that you started, because in actuality, when you become a single mother, the odds showcase that in black women, modern women, in our society here, you're not getting married, you're not finding the man. And then what happens? You're talking about men saying men are no good, men are dogs, we're all the good men. But you did not prioritize marriage. You decided to carry before you marry, and that's why we have this problem today. So let's continue.
To a random man in the street, in the marketplace, it doesn't matter a goddamn thing. I'll put her interview back up, but they can hear her answer. It doesn't matter. You're coming to a man and saying, hey, Roger, I'm better today than I was. And Roger's like, shit, I just met you today. All I'm judging on is today.
Right.
But then he's gonna say, well, let me look at your history, just like any other employer. Okay, you had a job that you was fired from. Now that job cost you your future. It cost you this, but you got fired from it, or you didn't get promoted at that job. Why'd you give all this stuff to that job and they didn't promote you? Then you come into and you want me to come over. You want me to pay you more? No. We're gonna pay you what you got paid back there. Because you did it over there, you did that job over there for less money and you worked harder. You ain't gonna come to me 10 years later asking for more money. You're gonna get less money because you've already set the market. And that's the point I'm trying to get ladies to understand. Your child's father sets the market for you. And unfortunately, you don't get to move that number around just because because you're better than you were. That's what I see the danger with Sierra's prayer and all that stuff, because it makes women think that, well, I can do better. No, that's not how that typically happens. And how we got here, folks, is the whole notion of sharing a man. And I guess why I'm having this conversation is to let ladies understand that the more stuff you have on your resume, the more you're gonna have to share, the more shit you're gonna have to potentially put up with. And a lot of women don't like that. So let me go ahead and unmute you.
While he said that here, I just want to point out that is a great analogy about our resume. We talk about the sexual marketplace, in that if we want to talk to your ex and we want to get information, the same way that if you go to a job interview and they want to check your references, what would your previous job would say? What would your previous guy would say? What would your previous woman say here? Most men and women don't even do this here, of course. It's kind of hard to get a hold of the ex. But if you were able to do that, and then you got a true assessment, what is happening here? People want people to pay more than what you did before. When in actuality here, you didn't require that man that much here. So why should I have to pay more when he didn't have to pay? He was able to get buns glazed in season. He was able to go ahead and get that back, but you want me to marry. You want me to provide. And he got this kid here and didn't have to do much of all here. That is what he's bringing out here. Your resume, your past is going to dictate your present as well as your future here, and that you're required more than what you had there. And when men see this here, he's like, no, I don't want to deal with this here. I'm going to keep it moving. So that's what Kevin's pointing out here. And we need women to understand that. And fellas, if you don't recognize this, you need to. Let's continue.
Do you have anything else you want to say, ma'am? I don't want you to go ahead and say, because you're 30 right now, right?
No, I'm 27. You're talking to me, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'm 27, but I guess my problem is not necessarily the type of man to get. It's about getting the man to commit, because I've had several guys who make good money. They have their own. They don't have children. They never been married. That really would love to be with me, but it's about the commitment. How do I get that man to say, okay, this is who I want? Because I'm honestly scared to just go out there and just be like, give him all of me, because I know I have a kid.
Scarcity mindset.
I'm confused. You said, how do you get a man to commit to you?
Yeah, well, because for me, I have several guys who they make good money, they have their own, but how do you choose? Which one do you choose? Do you date all of them at the same time?
Which one is proposed marriage?
Good question.
They haven't, none of them proposed, because
So what are you choosing from?
Right.
which one do you give your time to see if that's the person?
Well, okay, you're confusing me because you're saying you have men.
Okay, let me just give you an example.
Hold on. You're saying you have men and you keep sending their money, so I guess they're a certain caliber. But you're saying they want you, but what if they proposed?
As far as marriage, they haven't proposed
Then
because
how do you know they want you?
they communicate with me. They want to take me out on dates. They want to get to know me.
And that's the link. That's the link.
That's called they want to smash. That's called they want to get it in, yo. They want to go ahead and see what that booty's working with. They want the buns glazing season. Kevin is making a point here, and I've dealt with this in the past here. Guys, if a woman tells you, I got all these guys here, look at this here. You want to see my inbox? You want to see my DMs? You know what you say? Which one's proposed to you? Which one's giving you a ring? Which one is taking you ring shopping and say, okay, what's your ring size? We go ahead and do this here. See, that's all fluff. There could be a ton of guys in her DMs, in her inbox, but which of these men are serious? Which one of these men here are doing all the stops to showcase, hey, I'm the one here. I'm going to showcase, I'm going to give you my last name here, and we're going to build this nuclear bond. If that's not the case, if all she's doing is just dating and just having fun and casually things of that nature, that means nothing. It just means that she has a lot of guys she can choose from to pick what kind of dick she wants for that night. Whether she wants some Monday Tom dick or she wants some Friday Big Fred dick, okay? Maybe it's Saturday, and you know what though? Stevie's coming through and he's gonna go ahead and lay the LD action. But if no man is giving you a ring, has not even talked about it, has even discussed the type of cut, a princess carrot, whatever you want, if they're just saying nice things just to make you feel good, it means nothing. Let's continue.
Okay, you ladies often read stuff into men. If a man wants you, he's gonna tell you what he wants you for.
Exactly, Kevin.
Do you make room for the fact that they only want you for this? To date and have fun?
That's what I was just
No,
saying.
they all would love to marry, but they have to get to know you
What
first.
do you mean how they all would love to marry? How can you say that?
Oh my God.
Because they say it.
They say they want to marry you or they want to be married.
They would marry me. That's my baby daddy lost, is what they say.
That's
I'm not
game.
talking about your baby daddy. You talk about these other two men. Say
I
it.
would marry. Why didn't he marry you? That's his loss.
Hold on, man. I listen really well. I'm not talking about your child's father.
I ain't gonna front. I got guys that throw a bunch of game and be like, look here, sweetness. That man, that's his loss. You know what? I ain't like that man, okay? I'm gonna bring you to me. We gonna build this here. You know what though? You deserve better, my African queen. You don't need to worry about that deadbeat baby daddy. I am here for you and you only if I get those buns glazing tonight. That's what's going on here. She cannot recognize game being played on here. When guys want sex, they will say a lot of things just to get it in. It looks like sounds like she's messing with high-priced Pookies and Ray Rays. And they do exist. Just because they make a lot of money does not mean that they're not Pookies and Ray Rays. Let's continue. Let's see what else she's going to say here.
You said you have other men who want to marry you.
Who would love to? Yes.
And how do you know they want to marry you? What exactly have they said?
So I have one guy who says, I've been knowing you for a long time. We take our time. One day you will be my wife, but we have to take our time.
How long have you known this man?
12 years?
That's called game.
Game it is.
I mean, goddamn, ma'am, you known him for 12 years.
She admitted, game it is. 12 years? Oh, come on. That's called the dude buying his time just to get those buns. And once he get it, then if it's just okay as suspect, he gonna keep it moving. You already got a kid, so he's just biding his time here. You really said that? Man, guys and ladies, women really think like this. 12 years? 12 years a slave? Oh my God. He's just playing a lot of waiting to cash that ticket in. And then once he gets the buns, he's moving on to the next ticket. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. And then she said, game it is. So she will not accept reality. She cannot accept counsel from a man trying to tell you how men think. That's how women think, guys. They think they know it all, not knowing how we think. And we're trying to tell y'all and school y'all. Let's continue.
Years, have y'all been intimate?
No.
Oh my
He
God.
don't want you.
Right. 12
Man,
years?
12 years. How much? I mean, just take it away from you. Does that even sound reasonable? We need to take our time. How much time you need?
Right.
Okay, it sounds reasonable when you're young, and I'm like, I'm
no,
an
no,
apple.
no, 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 no. You
Not a
you're the one
decade.
that's confused. I'm trying to help you. When did people take 12 years to get to know each other 75, 80 years ago?
Right.
Okay, so let's
Comment
slow
section?
down, right?
Slow down.
Let's slow down.
So-
What?
Let's slow down, because when he says, I want you to still live your life, I feel like it's selfish of me to try to take that away from you. You're in college, you're young, I'm an older male. I don't want to take your youth away from you. That's selfish, is what it says. That's very selfish on my part. Now that I'm older, he's a little bit more aggressive with letting me know, hey, I want to be with you. You're the person that I want. But now it's like, I got all these other options.
No, that dude had another woman already. He had women and he was in college. And so maybe he couldn't give you at that time and he was Biden's options. So he was spitting mad game. And the fact that you didn't give him none, he probably knew he probably couldn't get it anyway. Oh my God, ladies, we can't make this up here. She is talking in circles. Talking in circles.
Who got all these other options?
Me.
Options.
Even after a baby.
Uh-huh.
Got dick options, maybe. Not marriage options.
I'll make you famous.
I believe you believe that, man, but it don't sound like you. It sounds like all these good companies out here, and they let you take a tour of the plant. They let you take a tour of the office. You got an offer letter. You got a physical offer letter from any of these companies.
Nope.
Got the keys to the crib.
The answer was, do you have a physical offer letter? Engagement ring. Drop to
No.
one knee. Then you ain't got shit except.
And on that note, I'm going to stop the video. It's running pretty long here. It's close to the end here. But the point that he was driving here is that she don't have an offer letter. She will not accept accountability and facts, knowing that a man 12 years and no engagement ring and talking about, we got to take our time and you're in college. Now I want to take your youth away. Oh my God. Family, friends, tribe. We miss Kevin. This is the type of counsel that we need every single day. Now, you made a mistake. You had a child, and now you're not with that man here. You need to accept facts and reality of what's actually going on and how men think here. What we say here, it says marry before you carry, and if there is no abuse, there is nothing wrong in yourself and well-being here. You need to find a way to make it right with your baby daddy. Now, she stated that he didn't want to marry her. Well, maybe there may be a reflection in the mirror about what is going on with you. We could talk about men all day long. Talk about men are dogs. Men are taking care of responsibility. Of course, he didn't marry her. So we need the reflection in the mirror about the woman. What is she doing wrong? What has she put in place for her that put obstacles before the baby came? Why this guy didn't choose? Did she choose a Pookie and Ray Ray? Did she choose wrong and then he just out of the picture here? She said that he makes 6 figures. But like I say, you can have high figure Pookies and Ray Rays. Women are not looking at the mentality and how men move. It's all about how you feel. And then when people like Kevin Samuels come, give you real information, give you real facts, what happened? You guys don't want to believe it. You want to believe what you want to believe, even though you called into his show and want facts. This is a scenario here where that she has a 5-year-old at 27 years old, which means that she had her kid at 21, 22 years old. We want to say this and say this again. Therapy is needed. She needs to heal. She needs to resolve all these issues with her previous men, the fact that she is talking the way she's doing before she moves on and look for another man. And after therapy, then maybe she should work out being with her child's father. But looking for a new man in this mentality and this thought process, no man in their right mind is sign up for stepdaddy season or stepdaddyism. What is gonna happen? This guy, whoever's gonna come in her picture, is just there for the buns glazing, to get that action going, to smack it up and flip it, and then when he's done, he's gonna keep it moving. He might give you a few more times on that. She's a cute, attractive woman, but majority of men is gonna see this as play. For show, not for go. So I just wanna repeat this for my tribe once again. Ladies who's also watching, marry before you carry, or just know that if you don't, only 26% of black women ever be married, and you will be part of the 74% and growing if you don't follow by these rules here and decide to be a single mother and not putting requirements on the man that this is actually happening here, because you are lowering yourself, lowering your value, and also impacting your child by not having two people in the home here. A child needs both parents, the mother and the father. So women, be mindful and know these things here. Comment, like, subscribe, click on that bell notification below. I want to know what you guys think about this video here. I want to know what you think about our fallen soldier, Kevin Samuels, and about this woman who had these questions about her options. But until next time, I'm that dude named Dave. See y'all later, YouTube world.